Okay, you're live.
All righty, welcome to Planning Board, Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, at 7 PM. First up is... All righty, welcome to Planning Board, Tuesday, September 5th.
TV, sorry.
First up is public hearing continued, 4 Federal Way. The Planning Board should hold a public hearing on application made by MTC Mechanical Company, Inc. for the premises located at 4 Federal Way, map 49, lot 005-G, located in the industrial zone. Special permit for a diesel generator from the Aquifer Protection District. Section 50-60.2 GE of the Groveland zoning bylaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Brian Goodrow with Hancock Associates, also John Riley with Hancock on behalf of MTC Mechanical and Comcast. So we're here before you 2 weeks ago, going over the plan and presentation. I do have the plan with me. I'm happy to answer any questions or go through any pieces of the presentation for the board member that wasn't here. Otherwise.
I think 3 of us was here, and Jason, you mulled in, right?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Anybody have any questions?
Well, I think last time we had some questions just about the containment being so close to the aquifer protection.
And some of the stuff we noted, like a 10-millimeter poly barrier underneath.
Correct.
A lot of this is going to fall under the fire department, under fire prevention. I mean, is there anything that you want to see added? It's a double wall. I believe what he said last time was a double wall fuel tank.
That's correct. With an active alarm system, so it'll remote dial to a 24-hour monitoring system. So if the alarm does go off, they'll be contacted.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we've had this come up in other situations where it makes everybody a little uneasy, I think, I mean, I
Right.
get, there's a protection plan in place, but we've all questioned response times for other plans as well, and if there is an issue, by the time the response takes place, the spill has occurred.
Fire department will be on the
So-
scene. So who's going to monitor?
The specific
alarm.
alarm company, I don't know. I don't know.
So I think the response would go right out immediately to the fire department.
Okay.
And the delivery, so there'd be a response from Chemtrack as well. There'd be a response from, the responsibility of the driver if he overfills the tank. I mean, who's to say that we don't have a problem like Lawrence, North Andover did if there's gas? Propane's even more volatile.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm also uneasy with it, like we've had in other issues. And I think more what makes me uneasy is the unknown of the plan more than anything else. I mean, I know when I have to deal with hazardous materials outside of this functionality before, it's done when there's a plan. So here's the responsibility, here's who's coming, here's who they are, where they're notified, how long it'll take them to get there, what their response times are, what the backup is, right?
So for clarification, we did issue a copy of our spill prevention control and countermeasure plan. It's about 100 pages of all of that documentation, who it is. There's contact numbers in there. There's cell phones of responsible parties within Comcast. It goes through the logic tree of what happens if there is a spill, who to contact, what procedures to follow. And again, this will be permitted by the fire department as well. So they will have all of that contact information.
Would you mind if we ran through the logic tree just so it's read into the minutes and on the record for everyone? If you don't mind?
46.
Thank you.
All right. So on page 46 of the document, there's a spill response flow chart. So if there's spill or release, can the spill be confidently controlled by facility personnel normally working in the immediate area? Is there no potential for safety or health hazard? Yes or no? If it's a no, emergency spill event, activate facility alarm and evacuate area, contact primary environmental contact or alternate. If yes, non-emergency spill events, control spread of spill or release, contact primary environmental contact or alternate. After both of those, you then contact your primary environmental contact or alternate. Obtains the following information about the spill or release: nature, location, size and extent, approximate amount released, wind flow direction, materials involved, calls, region or division EHS, and spill contractor. Then, does spill or release require reporting to governmental agencies? If yes, EHS professional to work with region, division contacts on notification and coordination with outside agencies. If no, additional corrective actions as necessary. And then the following 2 pages detail the spill assessment, non-emergency spill response procedure, and emergency spill response procedure. I can read those 2 pages too if you would like.
No, I think that does it for me. So as far as the notifying parties when there is an emergency spill event that personnel on site are not immediately able to contain. So who's the first people that are notified when that happens? So if the alarm triggers, who gets that call to come do something?
So we have 2 so if you go back another 3 pages, on page 51, we have the regional EHS contact, Kim Willingham, and her cell phone number, division EHS contact manager, Tim Levinger, and his cell phone, followed by all of our local EPA, DEP, Groveland Emergency Management, and the EPA.
So those first 2 contacts, the regional EHS and division EHS, those are Comcast employees?
Correct. Comcast or their contracted third party for environmental management.
I think we should put the Groveland Emergency Management and Fire Department first.
Okay.
That's on page 51.
Correct. Only because, you know, what if they're at a no cell service, and what are we going to wait?
All right.
You know, 45 minutes, an hour, you know? I don't see Chemtrack as part of this notification.
I'd also like to call your attention to page 2. There are 5 specific cell phones with
Page 2, you said, I'm sorry?
page 2. Yep, there are 5 contacts within Comcast, regional and more local. All of their cell phones are listed along with office numbers.
All right, I mean, personally, I don't disagree with Brad, though I would like to see someone local at the top of the notification chain. Just because if something happens, you know, I would like
Our
to...
response time is going to be a lot faster than any of your response times.
Yeah,
Again,
understood.
not saying that Comcast shouldn't be part of that chain as well, but, you know, someone who's going to be jumping on this and can be there in a matter of minutes versus notifying someone in Central Mass and Western Mass that something's happening in Groveland.
Understood. So if that would be made a condition of any approvals, we can give you an updated version of the SPCC plan.
I'd be okay with that as a condition.
I want to see Chemtrack part of it as well. Chemtrack usually gets it's usually standard procedure on a spill.
If you could,
As far as, what's the proximity to the wetlands?
from the actual,
Where it's going to be placed?
so this is the building here.
Yep.
This is the wetland buffer, the line with circles, and it barely nicks one of the generators. The other generator is outside of that. So the wetlands are located at the bottom of the hill off property.
So we're within, this one is,
Barely within 100, and the other one's barely outside of 100, basically.
generator, we'll call this, the smaller generator, what's going to be the fuel cell? How many gallons?
That is a good question.
And are there any different demarcations for the aquifer protection
They're
1, 2, and 3.
overlay? Or
I
just
bel-
follows
I believe the whole thing is within the zone 2.
the whole site is,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, we just have the well, like circle, zone 2, and then zone 3. And they're pretty large swaths of the town that are within zone 2 and zone 3.
Yeah.
There's not like the way wetlands are with like the 25-foot, 50-foot, and 100-foot.
So on the tanks, there's a 1,760 gallon and an 876. The 1,760 would be located at the right-hand side of the building, so that's the one that's not in the buffer zone, and the 876 is located on the left-hand side of the building, which is barely in the
Couple
buffer
thousand
zone.
gallons, that's a lot of fuel. Can we do, I'd like to see maybe containment.
Containment. So we had briefly talked about containment the last go-around, and the double wall tank is essentially the containment with the alarm system. We agreed upon the 10 mil poly underneath the concrete pad. Now you're looking for full containment of 1,700 for one, and then 870 in the other,
A cement containment around the double wall tank.
around the double wall tank. I mean, to be perfectly candid, if that makes the board feel comfortable, then that's what we have to do.
You feel comfortable with that?
That's what I'm more familiar with, to be honest, like is some sort of containment other than the tank itself, but it's not my area of expertise, but I don't know what that would look like in terms of size for, relative to the volume that we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, they're relatively big, so think of a large concrete bowl that surrounds the tank. so
Right,
it'd
but
probably
for
be 5
for
feet
these
around on either
volumes, like
side.
what would that look like on this plan? We don't really know that right now, right?
Not until we
Yeah.
pull a spec book, I don't know how big.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's overall our concern, right? Obviously, the double wall tank is a thing, and that's the industry standard there, I presume. But I think we just need to plan for, in the event of a failure of some part, what's the precautions we have in place in case of that, right?
As far as access to the tanks, I know the guy's probably got a 150-foot hose, but where's the delivery truck going to enter? And
The delivery truck will enter the driveway right next to the existing building. So there's already a paved area to the right-hand side of the building. So they'll park there within the fenced-in area, roll out their hose, and fill up.
I think the board and the town, our job is going to be to protect the town. We've already had, a valley screw incident, and I think in this part, I'd like to see containment. So I don't know if you're going to do this in-house or reach out to an environmental engineering company to do it.
Yeah, so we have Arcadis under contract. They're the ones that develop the spill plan, so they'll be the ones specifying the containment.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
Anybody?
I mean, I certainly won't object to further containment. Yeah.
just because of the proximity where it is and it's out of sight, out of mind, if something does happen, alarms fail, and it ends up being a wetland, you're talking, it's $1,000 a gallon cleanup, and that doesn't include in the wetlands.
Understood.
Should we continue this until we see the containment?
So if I could make a recommendation versus continuing it, if you would like to condition that the final plan showing and detailing the containment be issued before any kind of occupancy. It wouldn't be an occupancy permit, but a building permit for construction. There's multiple permits that have to be pulled for this. You know, I would like to go that route if the board would be agreeable.
We could fly a motion that the board would also take a look at the containment plan as well, as a part of a condition.
Yeah. I think that sounds good.
Is there anything else?
No, I think containment was it, right? And the detail,
it doesn't have to be
elevating a
on top,
local
yeah.
contact on
Yeah.
the response plan.
Yeah, because our guys are going faster than these guys.
No, exactly.
All right, somebody want to fly a motion?
Yeah, I will make a motion to, where's the, is there an application number?
We only do application numbers for zoning board.
Sorry.
We're on the wrong board, that's tomorrow night.
It's a cross-pollination hazard there. I'll make a motion to approve the application for 4 Federal Way with the conditions that the Groveland local emergency contact, whether it be fire department or other, is moved to the top of the alarm notification chain, and that there are containments built around both tanks that would be applicable for the volume of the tanks, and that the board has a view of the plans before they're signed off accordingly.
Yeah, they're going to be done by Hancock, I guess he has an in-house environmental.
We have a subcontracted engineering firm that's handling all of that.
Okay. So they'll show that the, you know, where they pour the cement, if they have to put, you know, a double pour, it's going to be special glass caulking around.
Yep, so it'll be fully detailed. I mean,
Okay.
usually they're
Yeah.
precast, but we might be talking about with the gallons that are required to be cast in place. So yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would say the containment to industry standards, yeah.
Anything else?
That's all the conditions that I had down.
Just the 3, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Passes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going to do the minutes, approval of May 9, 2023 minutes. Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Minutes fly. Tow planner update, or that should be town planner update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good,
Excuse me. Not much. A quick update on 912 Salem Street. I received their escrow agreement form signed and ready to go, so I let TEC know today that we're ready to begin that review process. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on a time estimate on when they'll be done so we can schedule their hearing date. They are also going to have to go through an order of conditions, a notice of intent and order of conditions for the Conservation Commission. The way our stormwater bylaw is written is a little complicated in the sense that it allows the stormwater management and land disturbance bylaw to be waived by the planning board if the applicant has a order of conditions that addresses stormwater management. But it says they may waive it, not that they shall waive it. And so the applicant, rather than doing stormwater through the order of conditions, is going to be going through that process with the planning board. So we will be seeing it for the planning board approval for site plan review as well as the stormwater permit. Just so everyone's aware, the way the bylaw is written, it really should say if they have an order of conditions, the planning board shall waive it, but when it says may, it's almost like they could go through the process with the order of conditions for stormwater water approval. But if the planning board decides that they don't want to take that as sufficient, they still have to go through stormwater again with planning board, so it would be like a double review, and the applicant didn't want to have to be liable or susceptible to that, so they're just going to do it with the planning board. So yes, we should be hearing about that soon. Still waiting on a couple of things for Oakland and Benjamin regarding, I didn't know it was doing closed caption there. That's neat.
Yeah, it's super good for my ADD.
That's awesome.
Just
I
don't
saw
look,
it
you'll
out
be
of
fine.
saw it out of the corner of my eye. Whoa. So waiting on a couple of things on those as-built. And then exciting news, I forgot about this until this second. I received the as-built for Billis Way. So we will be seeing that again, need TEC to do a review of that. Our as-built reviews also, they don't just go to TEC, they go to other departments. So, you know, other utilities like electric, highway, water and sewer, to make sure that those as-built show what they need, because that's what they will be working off of in the future. So just so everyone's aware of that as well.
Are the taxes up to date?
Working on that still, need to figure that one out. But regardless, that would be more so an acceptance of the roadway issue, I think, rather than an acceptance of the as-built issue. And the way I understand the legality of it, it is something I'm working on with Michelle in the treasurer's office and Rebecca, our town administrator, trying to figure out how that's gonna pan out, because it is a little tricky legally. So anyway, but that's it.
That's it?
Yes. I think.
Any other items? Anybody have anything to say? All right,
I'm good.
next meeting, we have a date?
So we don't have anything that needs to be scheduled right now. The next meeting would be September 19th. Obviously, we just passed 4 Federal Way, so that's done. 912 Salem Street will kind of be the next thing, like larger item that we have. But like I mentioned, I'm still waiting on stuff from TEC, and I figure it's better to schedule meetings when we already have that first round of comments from TEC. And I don't have those, and it's too late to do the legal notice for them for the 19th, so, which pushes that out to the 3rd.
Remember that Salem Street's going to be a long night.
The 912 Salem Street?
It's-
Yeah,
Okay.
very. So, that's, it doesn't, I do not think we will need a meeting on the 19th, at least anything that's like a hearing, because it's too late for anything to be properly noticed right now. And I don't currently foresee anything that wouldn't require a legal notice being able to be completed before the 19th, because we're waiting on TEC reviews and whatnot. It could happen.
October it is?
It
October
looks
it
like
is?
October, which would be the 3rd. Would be the 3rd, October 3rd is the first Tuesday of the month.
Perfect. I guess that's it. Motion to adjourn at 7:26.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.